guess the men are in a tizzy because Tracee Ellis Ross says that she prefers to date younger men because essentially the men that are older, they have been conditioned longer and they uphold a lot of patriarchal standards that promote toxic masculinity where they only view women as form or function. You know, how can they use her? How can they benefit from her? And the men, per usual, are hitting this from a victim mindset saying that, well, I mean, we say this all the time, and when we say this, we absolutely get massacred by women. But now that a woman has said it, how come she gets to say it and we can't say it? It has nothing to do with the fact that men are saying it. Women have had to hear this from the beginning of time. Overall, we already know that we're going to have to hear you all saying that you prefer younger women. The issue is not you saying it. It's that the action of you dating younger women never tracks well. Men do not have a good track record of being older and dating younger women. Younger women do not speak highly of you older men after you are done dating them. We can use the same celebrities as an example. Madonna and Cher are significantly older than their boyfriends. Once a woman has obtained enough money, she's obtained enough success, she's obtained enough fame, men certainly start to become something for fun, okay? More of a want, more of an accessory, and not a need.
Them gal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked. Them gal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked.
Once a man gets old and he starts going for a younger woman, it is 100% as a need. Think of Elvis Presley. Think of Tommy Mottola and Mariah Carey. Even Marcus Houston and his wife. She was 19 and he was 40. When word gets out on how the dynamic was when a younger woman was with an older man, it never reflects well on the man. So this is the reason why women tend to have a great disdain when they hear a man that is older say that he wants a woman that is younger, because we understand that there is a stronger power dynamic and men are going to have influence over that because, like what Tracee Ellis Ross said, they view women in a very rigid way. As women get older, they break free from that rigid way. A younger woman, you are able to train her into that way. Women have nothing to gain by grooming a man that is younger than her when she has everything already. Men tend to not have everything, which is why they go for younger women, to train her to give him everything that he cannot obtain alone.
She has a lot to say for someone who has to be holding down her weight.
Oh my God!
But as I said, y'all, as I said in a previous video, it is the control. It is the control that these women want over men. So you see the projection of thinking when older men date younger women, they're controlling them, they're manipulating them. She mentioned that they're getting something from them without acknowledging that, yeah, but the women are also benefiting too. Usually when an older man dates a younger woman, that younger woman don't necessarily have to work, don't necessarily have to take on what she would have to take on, the responsibilities what she'll have to take on if she was to date someone her age. But she wants to paint that narrative and pretend as though the benefit is one-sided. Remember, fair exchange is no robbery. No.
You want to know the biggest takeaway from this episode of, in my opinion, with Michelle Obama and her brother Craig Robinson? The biggest takeaway, even though Tracee Ellis Ross is 52 years old and she's never been married and she's never had kids, even though the episode was about dating, none of that matters. The biggest takeaway from that episode was that it takes so much courage to live a full life. Michelle, who's been married for 30 plus years, her brother who's been married, divorced, married again, Tracee, who's never been married. The commonality throughout the whole entire episode to me was that it takes courage to live a full life. That is the best advice anyone can give you. Married, not married, divorced. You need to live a life that you love. I preach this every week on my podcast. I preach it on my channel as well on YouTube. It is so important to be able to create a life that you love, no matter who's in it, no matter what it looks like. And I love that although this was an episode about dating, that was a very clear message throughout the entire episode. If you watched it, let me know what you think. And also, I did not know Tracee Ellis Ross was a Scorpio.
Wow. Wow. Anyways, y'all.
More women knew that not seeing the life that we thought we would have come to fruition is actually grief. Tracee Ellis Ross just named that particular type of grief. She said that she often finds herself mourning not being partnered and not having children. That type of grief hits very differently, right? You're not missing someone who left, okay? You're missing someone who never even showed up. You're grieving someone who was never even born. And I find it so fascinating because being single in this society is such a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it is glamorized. It's soft life, me era, solo travel vibes, all the things. And then on the other hand, it's stigmatized, quietly judged, like there has to be something wrong with you.
No, or on the other hand, it is you capping. On the other hand, it is you failing to acknowledge that, oh, I have an inability to maintain a relationship long term. You've reached an age where you thought you would have a marriage, you thought you will have kids, you thought you will have a certain type of life. And instead of humbling yourself and saying, dang, how did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? How did this become my current reality? You just want to blame men. And then you want to get on social media and pretend that you're so happy and post your thirst trap when really and truly you're suffering inside.
Got him!
We know that that's not the case, right? But the craziest part is that for this type of grief, there is no ritual. There is no funeral or memorial service like when we lose somebody in the physical realm. There is no divorce party when you finally leave that man. No outpouring of love and gifts and support when you miscarry a child. there is no closure. Even as a friend, I've had to check myself, right? Because my instinct is to fix it, to throw a solution at it, to cheerlead, to play matchmaker, and make sure that they know that they are so much more than being someone's wife, being someone's mother. But real support is just sitting in the discomfort. It's to say, I see you. Not necessarily, oh girl, be patient, he's coming when the time is right, because that's not necessarily the case either. Because here's the truth, being partnered does not guarantee you won't be lonely. Shout out to Cecilia Regina and her Lonely Wife series. If you know, you know. So maybe the real life, the real glow up is in learning to grieve what never was, what never might be, and still learning to build a beautiful life anyway.
The real glow up is taking accountability for your results in life. Now, I'm not saying just because you take accountability and say, dang, I messed up, that's why I'm not married, don't mean automatically you're going to get married and have children and just live a life, reverse the time. But when you can take accountability for your results in life and say, I am the reason why I am here based on the decisions I've made, that is the real glow up. But these women still want to continue to hide behind feminism, hide behind their strong independence. They are perfect little angels, sugar and spice and everything nice, and men are the reasons why they don't have their desired results.
Them gal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked. Them gal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked.
My only take on the Michelle Obama and Tracee Ellis Ross interview is a lot of women will not understand Tracee Ellis Ross because they are passive participants in their lives. And someone like Tracee Ellis Ross and like Michelle Obama, before she was married and even after she was married, was a very active participant in their lives and their life story and how their lives shaped up. And you can only be that if you can visualize who you are as a woman, not as a wife, not as a mother, but who you are as a woman. And the sad truth is a lot of women don't have that, right? And time is finite, and you can't get any more of it. And it's going to pass. And a lot of women are not going to have anything to show for it because they refuse to show up for themselves.
It's that woman empowerment BS they use to make women feel better about themselves. If you need an outside source to feel empowered, then you are not as empowered as you think you are. If you need to say things like, I am woman and I am pouring into myself and I'm finding myself, you have bigger problems, because that's something that's supposed to just come natural. I mean, the skills of learning to be a wife, learning to be a mother, that doesn't come natural. That's taught through culture. And in the Black community, we do not have a lot of wives. That's why so many women do not know how to be wives. That's why so many women cannot find a husband, cannot keep a husband, because you don't know how to be wives. So instead of trying to learn how to be a woman, something that comes natural, you were created to be a woman. How about you learn how to be a wife? Learn the wifey skills. But you get mad when men say, okay, the women who are learning to be wives are overseas, are in traditional culture. Let me get my passport. Get to the chopper! Y'all mad at that because y'all put too much focus in learning how to be a woman, in finding yourself. Why is it so difficult to find yourself? Where are you? Where you went, sis? Where was the last time you saw yourself? This talking point is very common amongst women who do not have their desired results. I am just encouraging y'all to try something new, try something different. If you do not have your desired results, try something different, no man. See if it will work. If it don't, then you can come back to the original talking points. These women are going to continue to back up Tracee Ellis Ross, and it will continue to expose their hypocrisy. They are one-sided. They can only see things from their perspective. But when men say the exact same thing that they say, the patriarchy, it's toxic masculinity. These women are in the need for control. Feminism is not about equality at all. It's all about being superior to men. And men are realizing, men are saying, no. No. Get to the chopper! But y'all go check out this video. Kevin Samuels was spot on, 100% right about Tracee Ellis Ross. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.